Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Jeff, and behind me is a 1989 Chevrolet Corvette with a Greenwood Motorsports body kit on it, which is extremely rare. And if you like the way this looks, this car is actually currently for sale. So you can check out the links in the comment section and in the description so you can check this car out for yourself if you're interested in purchasing it. So let's talk about it. Okay, so this is a 1989 Chevrolet Corvette with the Greenwood body kit, which we'll talk about and highlight all of the different features on this. So of course, this is a C4 generation car, and one of the coolest parts about the Greenwood kit, aside from the history, is check this out. In the exterior, we even have Greenwood, and then in the rear as well. So let's talk about a little bit of history of what Greenwood is as well. So Greenwood, which you're probably familiar with if you're a huge Corvette fan, actually comes from the racing team, which was first in existence in 1974, founded by the two brothers, John and Bert Greenwood. And they would actually take cars to Le Mans, 24 hours of Daytona, and even the 12 hours of Sebring. Now, their most famous car perhaps is the 1976 C3 that went and raced at Le Mans. Of course, their first wide-body car would have come out in 1974, and they continued making body kits, both street versions for C3s and of course C4 Corvettes like you see here. Now, while they did go on to build 360,000 C4 Corvettes total, there's not many cars that would have a Greenwood body kit like the one you see here, and it's an awesome period correct option to have that changes the look of the C4 Corvette to make it more unique. And the C4 Corvette, as we'll be talking about today, has a ton of cool and interesting features. So much so that I want to show you this first. So, looking at the side profile, the C4 Corvette is one of the lowest cars that you'll ever see. It's actually lower than even my 944, has a much taller roofline. And one of the cool benefits of that is the low silhouette means that this car doesn't get detected by radar until about half the distance for most cars. So, let's say, for example, in essence, the cop would have to be significantly closer to be able to pick you up on radar if you're doing maybe questionably legal speeds in a Chevrolet Corvette, specifically the C4. So let's point out some of the Greenwood body kit bits on the exterior. So you can see the front split. This is specifically the Motorsports kit, which has a much more aggressive aero styling to it. One of the cool bits of the aero styling is, of course, it's designed to be as functional as you can be for a street car, because this is designed by a company that, after all, went and participated in motorsports. So you can see we have the added front, then it goes into the side piece here, and then the rear and the spoiler, which is perhaps some of the coolest parts of the car. Some very aggressive diffusers and aero bits you can see down there with the twin exit exhaust. And like I showed you earlier, we have the spoiler that says Greenwood in it, and down here in the bottom. So what a cool piece of history to have part of that Corvette performance as far as aftermarket cars go for the Corvette. Now, that's not the only sort of heritage performance bit on this car. You can see this car also has ZR1 wheels, and that's mixed in with the disc brakes. Now, some of the other cool changes that happened for the C4 is the C4 Corvette also featured GM's new uniframe construction. That's GM's term. So essentially what the uniframe was is previous Corvettes were body on frame, and then the uniframe wasn't quite the unibody cars like we know today, but it made the same sort of core, but none of the exterior panels were quite on the frame yet. So that helped with some of the production, some of the biggest technology jumps that would happen for the C4 Corvette versus any other Corvette generation. Another change that would save a lot of weight and make the C4 Corvette more performance-oriented was in the front suspension. So, similar to the rear, the front suspension now sported a transverse fiberglass leaf spring, so the car still had fully independent suspension, all great for performance, but it weighed a third of what the previous C3 Corvette would have had in it, which is pretty impressive as far as performance is concerned. So, not only did you have the transverse fiberglass leaf spring in the front, you also had a transverse fiberglass leaf spring in the rear. So, pretty cool way, and it also saved weight. So, this C4 Corvette comes in somewhere in the neighborhood of around 3,300 pounds, which is significantly lighter than the previous C3 Corvette generation. So, on top of that, you also get the improved, because this is 1989, you get the improved horsepower numbers and the improved suspension, which was tuned and updated since the C4 Corvette first came out in 1984. So this particular car is going to be powered by the L98, which is also the updated V8 option. You're looking at 248 horsepower and then 345 pound-feet of torque, which will allow this thing to accelerate from 0 to 60 in, some people say, about 5.4 seconds. Some people say about 6.4 seconds. So it kind of varies. Obviously, the hands of the driver will affect that too. But a very cool car and a very performance-oriented car as well with the Greenwood body kit. You're looking at a top speed of about 150 miles an hour. Now, some of the other cool bits, obviously we have a beautiful red color on this car, but we have this awesome black interior. And if you've never seen C4 Corvette seats, check out the bolstering on these. These are some of the comfiest seats I've ever sat in. Just sitting in these will make you want a C4 Corvette. The other cool thing, it's all of the 80s tech. So once you look in here, you can see some of the cool various bits that'll probably get transferred over into some of the hot rods that you're familiar with. And this particular car does have the 700R4 automatic transmission in there as well, which of course is used in tons of hot rods and other aftermarket vehicles. So very tried and true transmission, along with a classic Chevrolet 350 cubic inch V8. So really, when you're looking at Corvettes, it's just the best bang for buck for performance. And of course, this particular car features a unique Greenwood body kit. So a very cool car all in all. You really can't go wrong with any of the C4 Corvette models. And if you want a unique Corvette, you can check out this Greenwood Corvette, which, like I mentioned earlier, is actually now for sale.
I also wanted to add that the C4 Corvette has a 20-gallon fuel tank that
Manual
can get you over
release.
400 miles of range if you behave yourself due to that EPA rating of anywhere between 15 city and 23 highway. So perfect for road trips. How cool is that?
So if you're interested in purchasing this car, feel free to check out the links in the comment section, in the description, and that'll take you to the listing of course, where this car is for sale. So if you guys enjoyed that video, could hit that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. And consider getting subscribed for more content like this in the future. Thank you so much for watching.